With that, we 2 minutes to answer each question, and then we'll do an open Q&A. Okay, thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. While they're getting their mics set up, I might as well take 2 minutes for an opening statement. My name is P.J. Tanner. I'm the sheriff of Beaufort County and have been for the past 23 years, about 42 years of law enforcement all over right here in Beaufort County. Born and raised in Beaufort County, love Beaufort County. My family lives here. I mean, and like Willie said, it doesn't get better than this. We're living in God's country.
Question number 1, please discuss the Beaufort County Sheriff's Department's interaction with federal immigration authorities, also known as ICE. Specifically, are your officers empowered to honor ICE detainers and cooperate in the case of non-citizens who commit crimes in Beaufort County or are wanted by ICE?
Very good question, because immigration is a question we get quite often. And we actually have someone that in the room that I was speaking with earlier that's very, very knowledgeable of immigration issues. Some years ago, and this was during the Obama administration, we had the opportunity to contract with immigration enforcement, known as ICE. So we trained 5 deputy sheriffs to be immigration agents. And they were doing a phenomenal job. Now, what we were not doing is we were not going to Walmart, Publix, some of your big box stores and checking ID. That's not something we were doing. Our focus was to make sure that we dealt with the worst of the worst. So if we had gang members, we had drug dealers, we had other issues we were dealing with, those are the ones that we focused on. Now, that's changed a lot because the Obama administration stripped us of that opportunity and the ability to do that. I still have 2 deputy sheriffs that are still immigration they're trained. I mean, there were 2 of them out of the 5. They have a very healthy relationship with immigration enforcement and Homeland Security. We don't have a contract anymore, so we're limited as what we can do. But our relationships are still there, and we work together on a lot of different issues. They are heavily involved in the jail, and those inmates that are arrested for various crimes that go to jail and bond is set. The immigration agents are aware of those, and sometimes they do and will put a detainer on someone. But it's a detainer that's a law. They'll give you a court date and tell you to show up either in Gainesville, Georgia, or another location. So I have to tell you that it's broken. Not completely broken, it's severely damaged. Look at that right on.
Right on top.
I have a 2-part question for you. What area has the Sheriff's Department improved in the past 4 years? And what areas did not improve as you expected? Why?
Well, the improvements, all of our improvements, not only the past 4 years, but the past 23 years, is looking at law enforcement differently. When I started this career, like you, when you started your career many years ago, law enforcement was we police differently. Today, we've learned to police smarter. So anything that we can do that has a scientific edge or a technology edge on what we're doing in law enforcement, we take advantage of that. So we're looking at science, and we have done a phenomenal job in this county creating a forensic science lab. So we're doing DNA testing, we're doing drug testing, we're doing arson testing. We are now moving into the technology side. So that would probably be the answer to your question, because we're just working ourselves into the technology side now, where we can do more work with cell phones, computers, and even the brains and vehicles. So if we have accidents or we have cases that are being investigated, we can actually strip and download all the material out of these vehicles. So it benefits our intel division. It's going to benefit the citizens of Beaufort County. I've enjoyed working with Bill Hurd-Kirsten and Weston Newton, getting the funding to make this a reality, not only in Beaufort County, but 13 other counties in South Carolina. So it's a great program.
You served as 4 years, and some people may say it is time for change. How have you kept up with changing times, and what changes do you think must happen over the next 4 years?
Well, I mean, I have an opponent who puts out a lot of disinformation. I mean, I'd love for him to have been here tonight. That way, these things can be talked about. You know, I can't cover all the stuff that he's saying, and I'm not going to try to, but I can tell you that you're in a great county. You're enjoying crime rate lower than the national average. And it's amazing just how good our crime rate is, not only based on bed population, but also our service population. You got to remember that every day we're policing 50,000 more people than live here because they're coming in every day. They're either coming in as tourists or they're coming in as day trippers or they work here. And if you've driven on 278 or US 21 or southbound 170 or 46, you see it every morning and every afternoon. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we've done good. There's always things that we can do better. We're always looking at ways to improve in what we do. But it takes an agency like Beaufort County Sheriff's Office to do it and do it good. And I'm very proud of these men and women. What they do every day, they do an awesome job. They don't quit during COVID, the 2 years during COVID. We had no one working from home. Everyone at the Sheriff's Office was at work every day. They didn't moan and cry and complain. They just went out and did their job knowing what those risks are. So very, very proud of them. We've got a lot of things to improve upon. And we're going to take advantage of everything that's scientific and everything that's technology driven.
Sure, knowing that misconduct is a big issue on police departments and sheriff's department, how do you address misconduct on the sheriff's department?
We are nationally accredited. It's something we did in 2010. And a national accreditation for us is professional standards. So what we do is we created 150 policies, and those are professional standards. And a part of the accreditation process is for us to have proofs of every incident. So if we get an allegation or a complaint from one of our deputies, then it's investigated. It's not just, well, that doesn't sound too bad. You want to make a complaint, it doesn't matter if they want to make a complaint or not. If they bring that information forward, we're going to investigate those allegations. Because what we do is we pull that policy, we apply the allegations to the policy, and then we create a proof to show that we are looking into it. Under the national accreditation, it's something that it's a must that has to be done. We go through reaccreditation every 3 years. And we are very, very proud of the work that we've done to make sure that not only is our sheriff's office accredited, but our communication center, our lab, and we're working on polygraph accreditation now. So we got a policy violation because we're policy driven. It's investigated and we deal with it.
Another lengthy question here. The Sheriff's Department makes many statistics available to the public and through reports displayed. Beaufort County data for reported Group A offenses, which are crimes against persons, property, and society, has trended downward over the past decade. In 2020, reported offenses were down 33% from 10 years earlier, despite our growth in population. How do you account for that improvement, and what will you do to continue reducing these crimes?
And where was that data from? Do you know? Okay, never mind. How do we keep reducing crime? We keep doing what we do. I mean, our relationship with the public we serve is remarkable. Second, the law enforcement relationships that we have with Beaufort City Police, Bluffton, Yamasee, Port Royal, South Carolina Highway Patrol, the FBI, the DEA. I mean, all these relationships they're strong. And the fact that Beaufort County citizens support public safety in all aspects. So when it comes to fire, EMS, and police, you're just a snapshot of the support that law enforcement gets throughout Beaufort County. And the efforts that we put into what we do are appreciated by you, and we get a lot of feedback and a lot of information. A reduction in crime is working together. A reduction in crime is making sure that our officers that are on the street are well trained. In the past 2 years, our officers have been trained 27,000 hours of training in 2 years. And a lot of that we could do because calls for service were done during 2020 and 2021 because of COVID. So they do an awesome job. You are awesome folks, and we're going to continue taking that crime further down.
Sheriff, I have a two-part question again. The issue of traffic comes up quite often. What are the responsibilities of the sheriff's department regarding traffic? How does the sheriff's department work with other governmental agencies to improve traffic?
Well, traffic is something that, if you'd have asked me that question 23 years ago, I would have told you it's probably going to be the death of PJ. Because during that time is when we were trying to time all of the traffic signals on US 278 to the point to where Beaufort County took over that responsibility. So we had our own traffic management engineer with the county, and we were able to go in and sync all of the traffic lights on 278, and we worked with the town of Hilton Head. I'm just using that stretch road as an example. We worked with the town of Hilton Head to make sure that the work that we did out in the Bluffton region also, we didn't see a negative impact once they got on the island. And I'll tell you, it worked great. I think we lost our traffic engineer. I think he retired or resigned and went elsewhere. And now the program is back with DOT. So all of the timing and all the work that goes on, if we have an issue or a traffic signal, we call South Carolina DOT, and then they send somebody out of Charleston. So, I mean, those issues are something we deal with. It has an impact. All of the things that we have been working on for years are impacted at choke points. So when people talk about a traffic accident on the Hilton Head Bridge, it seems like it's every morning around 8 o'clock and every afternoon around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And it follows it up. We've got no place to put the cars. This last accident we had on 278 on the bridges was a 3-car collision. The highway patrol is the investigating agency. All we could do was assist in directing traffic and make sure that the fire department and EMS got there. But this is work in progress. DOT doesn't work for Beaufort County, and they surely don't work for the sheriff, but we do have the ability and opportunity to negotiate with them.
What I'm concerned recently, as we've encountered a lot of people coming here from different areas, and I get on 278, and I can count at least 5 or 6 different times that these black pickup trucks get behind me, and they get on my bumper, and they want me to get on the one in front of me's bumper. Is there anything that we can do to light the signs up more so that they don't go 80 miles an hour on 278 and cause all these accidents? Because they're driving too close to everybody.
Following to again, you look at accidents, in especially a corridor like that, 278. We have some areas on US 21 as well. But during those traffic times, like 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning, but rear-end collisions, and then of course lane change collisions. Those are the 2 main things. But occasionally you do have an accident that happens at the wrong time that ties up traffic for some time, and it's difficult to try to move cars around, and there are serious wrecks. And one of the things I wanted to say earlier, we have to treat a wreck scene as a crime scene. Because there could be criminal charges coming out of the incident itself, and there's always going to be a lawsuit. So you can pretty well bet for every accident that you see, there's going to be litigation based on that accident. Maybe not criminal charges, but there's going to be litigation. You know, they fall out of the car, they fall on the ground, and they say, call my lawyer, then call the doctor. You know, so, I mean, those are the things that we see all the time. But those accidents, they must be worked, because we are duty bound to work those accidents to treat evidence the same as we were working any other thing. So, but following too close, unlawful lane change, and we are going to see more work, more efforts by the South Carolina Highway Patrol on a lot of these busy roads, to include 278, 21, 170, and 46. Our deputies are out there working. We need more troopers in these areas. The request has been made, and I think we'll start seeing it. So the only way to stop it is write a bunch of tickets and have the magistrate's court fine them, you know, the maximum amount of the fine, and that most of the time that sends a message.
Okay, thank you.